Hello, my dear night shades, it's Otti again. I'm sitting here at the Kulttempel Oberhausen. Besides me is Daniel from the band Aesthetic Perfection. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Aesthetic Perfection, we're playing here tonight.
Yes.
And I think you're looking forward, as we are, probably, to the people outside who don't know you. You are the singer of Aesthetic Perfection, the mastermind, you can say. And Aesthetic Perfection makes industrial pop. This is how you normally describe it? Or?
The way I prefer to describe it, because I do so many different things that sort of like range between these things. So it's usually like a sliding scale between is it super poppy or is it super heavy, and I can just kind of turn the dial to whatever setting I want.
Yeah. And we had this cool talk at the Amphi Festival, so people who want to dig more into this basics can watch this video. Mm-hmm. For today, we can have a look back to the Amphi Festival. How do you remember that weekend?
Oof, man, if I'm being honest with you, it was so long ago, at least for me in terms of my professional career, because I've done so many shows and had a big tour between this moment and that moment. So the details, they all kind of run together, they get fuzzy. So I just remember that we had a good time. We had a couple of technical difficulties at the beginning of our show, but we still had a lot of fun. It was me and Constance and Mike. It's good.
I know what you mean. It's like, for example, me, I've visited so many concerts, done many interviews. Sometimes you even don't know, did you ask this question before or what have you done like this? But maybe you can tell me, since then, what have been the highlights you experienced? Do you have some?
After Amphi, we went on tour with Till Lindemann in North America, which was a fantastic tour, and kind of basically between my time on the road, I was working on this reissue of Close to Human, my debut album. So, I'm never one to sit around and do nothing. So if I'm not on the road, I'm in the studio. If I'm not in the studio, I'm on the road.
And I think this reissue is somehow connected to the tour now? Is it like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the 20-year anniversary of my debut album, Close to Human. Sort of the short version of what I'm doing right now is that shortly after releasing the album 20 years ago, I lost it in a hard drive crash. And so in order to perform all those songs live, I had to quickly remake all of the songs, that I had spent years working on in something like a month, because I think this happened right before we had our European debut at the VGT. So 2005 at VGT. And I was never satisfied with any of these sort of quick remakes that I had done in order to play the songs live. And then, after A Violent Emotion came out, people just really wanted to hear the songs from A Violent Emotion. They didn't really care about Close to Human anymore, so I just kind of stopped playing them live. But, it's part of my history, and it was important to me to bring it back, to reclaim it, to have the ability to play it live if I wanted to. And I'd actually been planning on doing this for well over 10 years. I just did an interview earlier this week with a radio station in Seattle, with a radio station in Seattle. And they played back an interview that I had done with them in 2014, where I described exactly what I wanted to do, which I've just now done in the last year, which is remake that album. So, a 20-year anniversary there's no better excuse to do something like this. So yeah, we've re-recorded the album, re-released it. It officially comes out June 20th. And now we're doing this old school tour where we focus on the first two albums. So Close to Human, A Violent Emotion. Don't play any music released after 2011.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
So this is one question I would have asked. So these songs are all from these albums, and did you play some other songs from that you never played before, or for a long time did not play before?
Well, I mean, all of the stuff from Close to Human, we haven't played in at least 15 years. So, I mean, it's crazy to imagine how long it's been. And some of these songs from A Violent Emotion we haven't played in over 10 years. And we threw in a couple of goodies, a couple of interesting surprises, stuff that we just felt like playing because we could. But yeah.
Yeah, but this is, for people watching, probably they have to come to the last shows.
They better hurry, because the last two German shows are tonight here in Oberhausen, tomorrow in Rüsselsheim, which is sold out, and then next week Monday, so just day after the Rüsselsheim show, we fly to Seattle. We play in Seattle, Denver, Los Angeles. Over. It's done.
Then is it like you will never do some tour like this afterwards, or is it maybe another?
Never say never. Like I don't want to be one of these people who's like, now it's finished. It's never going to happen again. But you know, I'm not an artist that spends a lot of time looking at the past. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm really focused on the future. I care about where I'm going, not where I've been. And while this adventure has been really, really fun and really, really fulfilling, and it has been great to kind of retread the steps of the past, I'm actually much more excited now about the future, to see where I've been, to think about now where I'm going.
Understand what you mean. So one question I noticed down, maybe this isn't even something you will think about, but if you would meet your 20 years younger Daniel, would you give him some advices? And if
so many things. I would tell
what, for example?
Start taking vocal instruction immediately. Don't wait another 10 years. Stop being so arrogant and self-centered. The world does not revolve around you. So remain humble. And then I think I would probably say take the business more seriously. When I was very young, I kind of believed that I would have the luxury of just being an artist and not have to worry about all the business stuff. Mm-hmm. And that led to me being taken advantage a lot by different contracts and, you know, opportunities, things like that. And I would definitely advise my younger self to take the business more seriously and be more self-aware.
And you think you have been arrogant back then?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought it was the best thing in the whole world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think young people often are like this.
It comes actually, of course, from a place of insecurity, right? Like you tell yourself that you're the best because you believe that you're the worst. Now I believe that I'm the worst, but I'm just honest about it. But I think that led me to not be the easiest person to work with, not be the friendliest to my audience, to my colleagues, to, you know, everybody. I was not pleasant to be around. And I think it was largely not just because of arrogance, but because of unhappiness. I was a deeply unhappy person.
Yeah. I think like being in this Gothic industrial scene, it's most of the young people have some deep depression, some things to deal with. We have as well as older people, but we learned a little bit more to deal with it.
I think one of the best things about getting older is that you understand yourself more. You understand why you behave the way you do, the way you think, and it gives you the ability to hopefully not kind of repeat these patterns that you start developing in your youth.
Yeah. And probably this also reflects in your lyrics. Did they change over years, or did they change?
I guess so. I think the biggest change that I would say that I noticed, especially from going back and re-recording all these old lyrics from 20 years ago, I blamed all of my problems on other people. So if you listen to my first two albums, it's I'm miserable and it's your fault. And now it's I'm miserable, but it's my fault.
Yeah, but it's cool that you see it like this. And probably this is also kind of getting mature and learning how the world is. But is it somehow strange singing those old lyrics, for example, that you felt different back then?
No, because performing for me is I don't need to feel the songs like I did when I wrote them. I mean, I used to try to like hide this fact, but now I'm quite transparent about it. I hate playing live. It's just really horrible for me, because I have such terrible stage fright, and like, you know, I'll literally wake up in the middle of the night 6 months before a big show is going to happen, terrified, sweating because of how afraid I am to play this show. So when I do it, it's much more of I imagine myself as an actor playing a role, right? Mm-hmm. So I do this because I want to entertain people, make them happy. I see that it brings other people joy, so I do it. But I don't need to feel the lyrics like I do when I write them, because I'm more of an actor playing a character. So I just think of how that character is. But I also think, the Daniel Graves persona is a character too. It's not who I am. It's who I maybe imagined the cool version of myself to be. Yeah. Right? So I imagine and think about who this cool version of me might be and how he might relate to the audience. And so it's that kind of performance.
And I think with stage persona, for example, I've seen those shows where we have been really colorful and stuff like this. So this maybe is also getting into another role, performing for the people, provoking them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but I am a provocative artist because I do like making people think about what I want people to question why they think certain things are interesting or cool or good. Is it a matter of these things are cool or good, or is it just because you like the aesthetic or you like the vibe, or there's a whole lot of different reasons why people like different things, and it's not always about quality. So I use whatever opportunity I can to challenge people with that, which is fun for me as the real artist. But still the whole performance aspect it's a different persona, it's a different character.
Yeah. And I think one of your points of success was to tour with many cool bands, like from Comedy Trials to mentioned Lindemann nowadays. So what did you learn? From which tour did you learn the most for getting better yourself and getting your show and tour better?
Okay. I've had a lot of negative inspiration, meaning I've had a lot of experiences where I saw the way people behaved and thought, I don't want to be that. I won't say who, but I will say that, some of the really probably Lindemann has been the most positive experience, just because, at that level, not just Till and his band, but also his crew, they are able to be the arrogant kind of dismissive rock stars that you sort of imagine that people at that level would be, right? So when I was a kid, I would imagine that going on tour like that everybody would just be terrible to you. They treat you like garbage. They would act like total rock stars. Not at all. In no way, shape, or form. The crew is just incredibly professional, polite, helpful. They treat us like we're part of their kind of tour family. Till first day of tour, comes into the backstage, comes onto the stage, makes sure that we have everything that we need. Oh, is this room too small? Oh, this room is too small. You need a bigger room because otherwise you can't stretch out. It's like they really do take the time to make sure that everybody who is on their tour is comfortable and has what they need. And so this is the kind of person that I want to be. Mm-hmm. And so when I go on tour and I'm the headliner, or if I'm just doing a show or two and there are support bands, local supports, I want to be that guy.
So is this something that changed as well? That you maybe when you've been younger, you haven't been that kind to support bands, and now you really know what to do?
Well, I mean, it's really about being kind to everybody, not just the support bands, the local crew, everybody who's there to make your show happen.
And did some of your supports, for example, come to you and say, "Hey, it was really cool to play with you"? Did you have the chance to give some cool advices, some tips to them as well?
I mean, I don't have any specific stories, but I do this a lot. If somebody has a question, I take the time to answer it. I help, if somebody takes the time to send me an email, I answer it. The other day I got an email from some band who was just starting out. They sent me something like this, just this novel of text. I read it and I responded to it and I wrote them a block of text this big. back because I had the time. I don't always have the time, but when I do have the time, when I do have the ability, I want to make sure that I can be as present as possible.
That's really good. And I know you do a lot, for example, on social media, lots of communication with the people, reflecting what they send you or what critics they give to you. And so we could talk about this a lot. We won't do this this day, but maybe we can do a follow-up later this year or another tour or something. For now, we'll come to an end slowly because we have to prepare for the show. You had a long travel, you told me. So
very tired.
Really tired. So maybe you can tell me, will you go to sleep now, or what is important to you to get into the mood now to perform and to overcome your stage fright?
Yeah. Well, to overcome my stage fright, I usually look in the mirror and I just try to remind myself, like, it's only music. Who cares? You know, and no matter how bad today may be, you know, whatever it is that's scaring me, whatever the worst could happen in my head, I've probably already experienced it before. You know, I've had a lot of bad shows. I've had a lot of shows where I've left the stage and I've cried because of how miserable I was, because of how terrible it was for me. And so I haven't had that, you know, I haven't had an experience like that in a very, very long time. Thank God. So I just try to remind myself, whatever happens, it's not going to be that. So just kind of let go, have fun, be your character, and go home and get a good night's sleep.
And I can tell you, I've seen several shows of you, and none of this has been miserable. They've all been cool and professional and energetic, so take this please with you.
I'm glad to hear it.
To come to an end, what is coming after this show, after this tour?
Yeah.
Not after the show, after this tour?
I'm an insane person, so I'm trying to finish a new album for the Lindemann tour. So while every moment that I'm at home, I'm working on a new album. I work like 12 hours a day. It's insane.
So we have a good reason to talk again about the new album when it comes out. So
yeah, if I make it, but I'm working real hard.
I'll give you some pressure. Great. So for today, we have some greetings to the people.
Thank you for sticking with me all these years. If you are an older Aesthetic Perfection fan, but if you're new, well, I don't really care how long you've been around. I just appreciate any level of support. And if you've never heard of me before, check it out. Maybe you'll like it.
You should. Aesthetic Perfection, great band, I can say. Thank you for the nice talk.
Thank you.
You guys, thanks for watching, and bye-bye, cheers, see ya.